Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 2012 MLG Winter Championships held here in Columbus, Ohio. My name is Axel, joined here by my buddy Silence, and we're about to get into an awesome best of three from Group A. We got group play still going on. We're in the middle of group play here at the Winter Championships. We got Thorzain versus SaSe. Get excited. That's going to be coming up, and you may be asking, where did these guys come from? Well, SaSe been in pool play, has been played 3 games yesterday, playing some today, and Thorzain came from the open bracket.
Thorzain making his way through that tough open bracket, moving his way now into pool play. I think he is currently 1-1 in pool play.
Yes.
Obviously, like has been emphasized this whole weekend, every single game, especially in pool play, is absolutely critical here. So it's make or break, especially for SaSe, who's currently at 1-3. So we'll have to see. Both players obviously very familiar with each other. I believe, well, I believe Thorzain is
Yes, he's Swedish.
Yep. And SaSe would be as well.
Yeah, and we can see them on the screen there. We have their statistics in PVT. Of course, that makes sense because it is a PVT. SaSe has a 66% win rate, but Thorzain, it's a good matchup for him as well with a 61% win rate. This should be an electrifying PVT. Wow. I know SaSe quite well. I am associated with Quanta Gaming as their official caster, so I know this guy in and out, which is lucky for us because I should have some valuable insight for this. But SaSe loves his erratic play, loves his war prisms, loves his crazy stuff. We can see him on the screen there. Accomplishments. Look at all that stuff listed there in front of you. Of course, follow him on Twitter at @HelloSaSe. Always a good thing to do. But yeah, SaSe, known for his creativity. As I tell him to get into the game, it looks like he's currently in somewhere. I'm not sure entirely where he is, but of course, Thorzain is waiting in the lobby. Of course, the first map will be Entombed Valley. And, you know, it should be very exciting.
Yeah, time and time again, we're actually seeing Entombed Valley being chosen for a map, and this being the first map, we'll have to see. It's going to be a really exciting matchup. Both win rates they're super high for both these players. I'm really surprised, actually. It's pretty incredible, actually, with having 60. You said 66% win rate.
Yeah,
SaSe?
It was 66% for win rate for SaSe and PVT.
And then 61 for
Thorzain.
Those are still very high win rates for both players.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like moving around.
It's hard to predict, obviously, who's going to win. Both these players very skilled. And it looks like we have SaSe now finally into the game here. We'll get started. Thorzain is not quite ready yet, so we'll continue waiting here as we get this first game coming up here. This is Pool A, I believe, right? Marine King currently leading the pool at 4-0.
Pool A. We can talk a little bit about Pool A. MKP at the top of that 4-0, solidifying his position at the top. I don't think many people are surprised by that. MKP, of course, coming off of a win from MLG Arena, showing he's one of the best players in the world. And you can see the pool standings on your screen right now. Marine King Prime at 4-0, Gonzi at 2-2, Thorzain 1-1, Crazy moving at 1-1, MC 1-3, SaSe at 1-3. SaSe has a lot of work to do. Another thing interesting to note, Crazy Moving and Thorzain both coming from open bracket pool play. And look at MC. MC is at 1-3. I don't know who would have predicted that, as I still ask the players if they're ready. I think he's trolling me. I'm not entirely sure.
No, the result from MC being 1-3, it's striking to me. You know, usually you expect a little bit more out of MC. And by expecting a little more, you figure he's a more solid Protoss player, you expect some more results, but he's struggling with Terran right now. He's struggling in that matchup. I believe he's lost, I think, probably to each Terran that he's went up against in his pool. But we got this game started up for you guys right now. First game between SaSe and Thorzain. Take away the introductions, please.
All right, guys. Welcome to Entombed Valley. This is your tile set for this best of 3. In the bottom left-hand location, we have the blue Terran player from Mouse Esports. It is Thorzain. His opponent in the top right-hand location, his fellow Swede. It's the red Protoss player from Quantic Gaming. His name is SaSe. PVT on Entombed Valley. We've seen quite a few of these. Of course, we may not be familiar faces. Tastosis started off the day on the stream, and then we've been transitioning through a bunch of casters, getting them through the stream. But me and Silence have been on stream number 2 mainly. Yep. We've seen a bunch of PVTs on this map today, so hopefully we can use that knowledge to provide more insight to what happens here. But then again, I think we actually saw a Thorzain TVP there, if I remember correctly.
I believe so. I can't remember who the Protoss
my memory is
player
terrible,
was, though.
But
There's been so many games. It's just been a complete blur right now.
But let's talk about the map a little bit. What's very important to note about this map is the comfortability. I don't know if that's a word, but it's very easy to take 3 bases. There's ramps leading up to both of them. Macro game is almost guaranteed. You see some players who try to take advantage of wonky timings and go all the way across the map. It's a very long rush distance, and then try to like abuse a greedy Protoss. But usually the Terran is going to be the aggressor because the Protoss main goal usually, especially on this map, get those 3 bases, get those 6 gases, get my High Templar, get my Colossus, get those Archons, get those upgrades up, and focus on not dying to drops, focus on having just great unit control, superior concaves. But that being said, the middle of the map is very wide open here. So this can be very advantageous for Terrans if they control their units correctly.
Yeah, and out of the PVTs that we've seen today, actually, none of them have been cross positions. And this factors into the way that when you're close by ground, either vertically or horizontally, you have that secret hallway that kind of swoops around the middle of the map. And that comes into play when you're close by ground. But cross positions, not so much. It's going to delay. If you choose to hide your units and come around, that's going to further delay your push. Yes, it increases it exponentially by going around that secret hallway. So we'll have to see here. It's going to be Command Center. 1 Rax fast expansion here from Thorzain. Very typical on this map here. And it looks like it potentially will be a fast expansion from SaSe as well.
Yeah, I would not be surprised at all. Hasn't taken his second gas just yet. Probably going to start Warp Gate right away. Might get either a Stalker or a Sentry. Some players like getting the Sentry so they can save some of those minerals to get that Nexus a little bit faster. But it looks like SaSe electing to Chrono Boost his Stalker, which is pretty important. Because you're Chrono Boosting your Stalker, that's a Chrono Boost not going into your income. So in a sense, you're using your Chrono Boost to, you're kind of trying to hit a timing a little bit. I mean, you're using a lot of your Chrono Boost on your attacking units. Your economy is going to be a little bit weaker, albeit a very low scale type thing. I mean, we're talking about Chrono Boost here. But SaSe definitely going to try to be a little bit aggressive here. And the question is, will Thorzain get that bunker down in time?
Yeah, 100 minerals is built up here. Bunker goes down almost immediately. But the Zealot and Stalker should arrive before this. We see the Proxy Pylon at the 4th base location here. Just for future reference, a second gas is on the way for SaSe. That Zealot just waiting for the Stalker. And actually, it looks like he's going to be moving up to 4 gates here.
Going for a 4 gate, and I like it. Zealot and Stalker getting up here. Thorzain doesn't really have a response, trying to do his use his skills from the Master Challenge, the StarCraft 2 Master Challenge, and the bunker does end up finishing, but SaSe is not done. Remember, Thorzain scouted. What did he see? He saw, well, he saw no gas. He didn't scout
no gas whatsoever. He could assume
he saw the lack of the second gas, I was just to say. He saw the Chrono Boosting on the gateway. He's probably going to assume this is an expand build, but SaSe says, you're wrong, Thorzain. I'm going to attack with a bunch of units here. 2 more Stalkers and a Zealot coming up. This is pretty standard unit composition right now, but once these gateways finish, that's when SaSe is going to start warping in a bunch of Zealots, perhaps a Sentry, perhaps a couple Stalkers, and Thorzain might be in trouble. Only 1 bunker on the ground behind this. There's only 2 barracks. Tech Lab just now finishing reactor in production, adding on another barracks. Thorzain is in a lot of trouble here, Thorzain.
Yeah,
this
attack is going to be coming super fast here on the forefront of Thorzain. Thorzain only having 3 units in that bunker. He's going to be out there pulling SEVs almost immediately here. The warp in is on here at the 4th base. Zealot's being chosen to warp in here. Stalker's just poking up, trying to pick off the SEVs so it can't further repair that bunker. 1 Marauder is trundling its way out here. He's going to load that up into it's very precious. And again, looks like SaSe is content and just waiting here. Oh, that 1 SEV is going to spot the units.
Oh, he knows.
And he knows. He's throwing a second bunker down immediately. Thorzain pulling SEVs in response to this. And now SaSe is going to move up. The main natural lamp Guardian Shields go down. Not enough energy for force fields, so those SCVs are going to be effective in repairing that bunker. The bunker's being repaired. It looks like it will not fall. Instead, SaSe is going to be focusing on Marines. That second bunker is still on the way. It looks like Thorzain may have perhaps, yes, he has, in fact, deflected this initial attack from SaSe.
No reinforcements from SaSe. They're behind this, going back into pro production, adding on 2 sentries, adding on his natural expansion. Thorzain has pretty much effectively held this off. How many workers were killed there? Was this worth it for SaSe? Was this heavy aggression, ignoring his natural expansion for so long, was it worth it? 25 to 24 is the pro count, so Thorzain just fine in that regard. Keep in mind he has 2 orbitals as SaSe is still trying to be as annoying as possible. And look at this, Thorzain is halfway done with STEM. I would not be surprised at all. Get a bunch of units out, maybe a couple of SCVs pull out. When STEM is done, attack SaSe as hard as you can. We'll have to keep an eye on that. SaSe definitely in a lot of trouble in this game.
Yeah, SaSe is just going to be positioning his units right now defensively outside the natural expansion of Thorzain, just to get a point where he wants to keep Thorzain in his base while he's expanding so he can secure his natural expansion as well as his third actually right now. SaSe realizing, you know what, after I did that 4-gate, I am a little bit behind. What do I have to do to get back into this game? I'm going to throw down a third right away and hopefully get an economic advantage and just lightly pressure you at the front, making his unit presence known there while he's waiting so he can secure both those bases and hopefully gain an economic lead and take this into the mid to late game.
I'm really scared for SaSe right now. I'll be honest. In the beginning of that game, again, he delayed that natural so far, or so much. He invested so much in those early gateways and those early units into an attack that he wanted to kill Thorzain with. You don't make you don't 4-gate with the intention of expanding afterward unless you're trying to fake your opponent out.
Yes.
Clearly, SaSe wanted to win with that push right there, but was unable to break Thorzain's defenses. He was too good with his repair. The force fields were non-existent, only had a guardian shield to use, and now expanding behind it, trying to get back into the game. But the thing is, when you put down these two bases, you are so vulnerable. This is all this money going into these expansions, not going into units, not going into tech. Sure, he has a robo on the field, no forge on the field for upgrades, getting an observer out, but I'm a little scared for him, and here's that timing I was talking about. Thorzain marching across the middle of the map with plenty of Marines, plenty of Marauders. They do have Stim. Starport about to finish as well. So Thorzain's going to have medevacs pretty darn soon here. I'm terrified for SaSe around it. This is going to be very tough to hold, especially because these rocks are here. Thorzain could theoretically just go straight into the natural third of SaSe and try to do some aggression there.
SaSe's lucky here, though. I don't think Thorzain realizes that SaSe has that third base, or else no doubt Thorzain would have went immediately and swung over to that third base and try and take it out, at least pressuring it, forcing SaSe to come out of that advantageous position at that natural expansion. Meanwhile, though, he's just going to continue scouting out for where that proxy pylon may have been initially with that 4-gate, so that no zealot counterattacks would in fact happen against him, and he wouldn't have to worry about that right now. But SaSe has delayed enough.
Yeah.
He's securing his third base. It's getting very close now. SaSe is evening up the game by having that third nexus.
Yeah.
He's now starting to slowly taking advantage of that nice scan there by Thorzain, sniping that observer. Observer being very, very annoying.
Yeah.
If you're able to keep an eye on where the Terran army is,
yeah,
it gives you a chance to react and knowing where is he dropping me right now? Is he coming forward for aggression, or is he just staying back and I can actually just make some more probes and focus mainly on my economy and upgrades while he's back?
This is really good for SaSe right now. His third is starting to pay off for itself. Thorzain didn't hit the timing, didn't hit that stim timing that probably would have killed SaSe, and now SaSe has time. That was his worst enemy in the recent past, but now time is on his side. He has 3 bases up. He can just warp in a bunch of units. He has charge on the way. He has +1/+1 on the way as well. SaSe in a great position here, and Thorzain just now taking his 3rd command center. So I'm wondering, how hard does Thorzain try to commit to a push? There's no way, as I accidentally zoom out there. Thorzain doesn't know about the 3rd. He doesn't know about it, and he's just now gonna find out. So advancing up there, Michael got some minerals, sees that there, and now he's like, oh my god, I had such a huge lead. I let SaSe get a 3rd. I let him get it unchecked. And SaSe, he's in a decent position here at 67 harvesters to his opponent's 55 on 3 bases, on 6 gases. This is exactly what you want as a Protoss player.
Yeah, Zealot Charge is finished now, like you said. 1-1 is just about done as well. When Thorzain probably scouted the 3rd, he was like, oh no, how long have you had that up for, SaSe? What is going on here? SaSe now, again, taking advantage of that 3-base economy, adding on additional infrastructure with those gateways, warping in more and more Zealots, again, to take advantage of that Zealot charge. Getting Blink right now. Another scan goes down, yet another Observer, so Thorzain being very active, denying Observer scouting from SaSe. And it looks like potentially another Observer coming on the way here, but it looks like Thorzain may choose to, in fact, drop at that 3rd base location. He is swinging his army, positioning over there, but SaSe is ready for this.
Yeah, Thorzain advancing up the left side of the map here, and this is tricky. It's hard to commit your army up this ramp because force fields can easily partition it off. SaSe not entirely prepared here, pulling all of his units back. Thorzain marching at the ramp. 4 fields go down. Great force fields from SaSe. However, Once these units die, these Zealots aren't going to be able to get at the Marines and Marauders, but the important thing is he's keeping that Marine Marauder army away, warping in more and more units. He has the superior economy, has the better resource reinforcement potential here, as he can just warp in right at these pylons, whereas Thorzain has to march his Marines and Marauders all across the map. Great hold there by SaSe.
Yeah, fantastic defense right now for SaSe. That's all SaSe needs to do. He needs to hold that one push from Thorzain. He has the superior economy right now, and he's going to try and take advantage of this. He's getting a little over-eager by moving into the middle of the map right now. I find he's getting High Templar up right now. He's making a couple more Archons to add to his addition. He's got 1-1 started. He's almost all the way. He's halfway through +2 on each. He's actually going towards Robotics Bay. And actually, there comes the engagement now from Thorzain. Thorzain's going to choose to move on here. Archons are out. There's doesn't look like enough energy for force fields. 2 force fields go down. Fantastic force fields. Archon's doing a huge amount of work, as well as the Immortals. It looks like the army of Thorzain is caught here now. They're trapped, and there is no escape for them as SaSe cleans it all entirely up there. Great play by SaSe. Fantastic force fields, knowing where Thorzain would retreat to if he was to, and taking advantage of Thorzain being cut out of position. Blinks forward. He may get yet another medevac, and yes, he does.
What a great engagement by SaSe. That's like exactly what he needed. And some people may be like, but some people are probably asking, why was Thorzain so aggressive there? Why did he feel so comfortable? Thorzain did not see the Archons, and then the 2 Archons showed up from SaSe, so I was like, oh no, oh my god, my voice just cracked. He's like, oh no, oh, there's Archons, and then all of a sudden SaSe has the advantage as he's focusing on this medevac, ends up taking it out. And the Archons able to take so much damage. Beautiful force fields from SaSe, able to just huddle all those Marines and Marauders into one tiny little ball, and then from there, his just superior unit composition was able to riddle it apart, all those Stalkers, all those Immortals, and now SaSe just in a great situation, up 161 to 134, dare I say, on the verge of going up 1-0 in this best-of-3 series. Yeah,
he's looking in a fantastic position. He's got a good tech tree rolling right now. He's got proxy pylons on the way. He doesn't necessarily need to engage here, but he definitely wants to put some pressure on Thorzain. He wants to gauge, Thorzain, what do you have? Can I kill you from here? You're getting your 4th command center. I'm going to just try and probably deny that. It's going to be easier for him to try and deny the 4th than rather go up the ramp and try and kill Thorzain from this point. He may just wait. He is going for double Robo Colossus, and his upgrades are continuing to be tumbling through here, just powering through his upgrades, probably boosting into them immensely. And once he gets a few Colossus out here, the Viking count, if any, is... I don't think there is any Vikings out, is there?
I'm glad you touched on that, because look at that production tab. No Vikings there. He only has medevacs, no Vikings on the field right now. And SaSe has the timing. He's going to have Colossi. His opponent's not going to have Vikings on the field. And that is terrifying for a Terran player. You have to try to kill these Colossi by just marking around some Marauders and hoping to get lucky. So I would expect SaSe to really try to push an engagement here, especially because it's going to be maxed. His opponent isn't going to be maxed. He's going to have Storm. He's going to have Colossi. He's going to have upgraded units. Probably at 3-3 is when he will decide to engage. But look out for it soon. SaSe is smelling blood right now.
Yeah, SaSe might lose a couple High Templar for free, but he's going to deny, again, that 4th base. The Colossus are spot. EMP goes down, picks off an Observer. Another EMP catches a couple sentries. It looks like a handful of Zealots. So that 4th base is coming under fire now from the Stalkers and Archons. Colossus are moving forward here, and oh no, the Ghost taking heavy fires. And again, the lack of Vikings, so crucial for Thorzain. Needs to be having a lot more Vikings in this composition. We can see 3 more on the way, getting +2 weapons. He was anticipating this Colossus switch, but it could be too little too late right now.
He caught it too late, man. I mean, he's just now starting his Viking production, trying to hastily get those out on the field, and SaSe is feeling so comfortable right now. He just denied his opponent's 4th. He's adding a 5th. That's so much gas, and it looks like Thorzain setting a squadron of units along the left side of the map, but I'm going to focus on this engagement that might happen at the bottom here. SaSe's max, 3-3 just finished, has Colossi. His opponent doesn't have too many Vikings. SaSe get engaged at the ramp here, leading with the Zealots, hold position the Zealots. That was a little crazy to see, but not willing to commit. Meanwhile, Thorzain going after the economy of SaSe. SaSe is maxed. He can't reinforce back home. Forced to deal with cannons, and SaSe is going to engage with the natural expansion. Perhaps a little bit tentative here. Doesn't want to engage in the choke.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be losing those Colossus for free. He doesn't have a huge amount of anti-air force. I don't think there's very many Stalkers in this composition, so Viking's going to do very well. Going to be very effective, and their numbers will not be minimized too fast here. You can see observer speed actually on the way for SaSe. SaSe making a couple more observers in addition to that. I think force field's coming off here. Stim going on for Thorzain. He's moving on forward. The Colossus are a little bit too far forward. Vikings are going to retreat though. One Colossus very, very low on health. Got to be very tentative with that guy. And he actually killed his own Colossus.
SaSe kills his own
What is he doing? This is not
It's not a big
MOBA.
deal in the long run. His economy is absolutely out the window, ridiculously strong. He did lose the Colossus there, killing his own Colossus.
He may have actually been doing that for freeing up supply. Because he knows that Colossus is going to die. So he kills off the one Colossus and warps in more supply.
And he's killing his Zealots. God, I would be pissed if I was a Zealot in SaSe's army right now.
I think that's definitely what he's doing.
You think he'd kill his own Colossus to free up supply?
I think so. It's going to die within seconds, so it's not going to be very effective in DPS.
I'm not sure I agree with that. That's a little crazy, but maybe, who knows?
Oh, it's definitely,
but
crazy.
A lot of Vikings in the air for Thorzain. SaSe still maneuvering around the map, has plenty of minerals, plenty of gas, warping in more and more stuff as he loses it. Has an observer overhead just in case a cloaked ghost decides to get a little fancy. But Thorzain's still stuck on 3 bases. SaSe going up to 5. And, you know, SaSe, I think he's just comfortable just chilling here.
Yeah.
Just preventing Thorzain being a 4th, just slowly starving him out.
That's all he needs to do right now. SaSe's sitting on a comfortable 5-base lead, where Thorzain is just sitting on 3 bases. You can see the money of SaSe over at almost 5,000 minerals and 2,500 gas, but SaSe is going to go for it. EMP is going off on the Archons and the Immortals. Colossus falling down rapidly here with such a huge Viking number. Upgrades are vastly superior right now, actually close to even actually on Marines and the Protoss army. But it looks SaSe does not matter though. He's going to reinforce so quickly. Yep. Because he has such a huge bank right now. He is able to chow through the rest of these Vikings and Marine Marauders. Even with the standing army, not even including reinforcements, Zealots, more and more Zealots being warped in. The Planetary Fortress will, in fact, finish just on time. But it looks like SaSe will continue to engage here as SCVs are rapidly repairing that one Planetary Fortress. Vikings are going to land, and it looks like that Planetary Fortress will, in fact, fall. It doesn't matter anyway, though. GG call from Mouse Thorzain. And we'll be heading into game number 2 rapidly here with SaSe up 1-0.
Spectacular play from SaSe. What it came down to is Thorzain, he had a timing there where SaSe completely failed the 4-gate. When you fail the 4-gate, you should lose the game. I'm sorry. That's what should happen. You're investing so much in early aggression, you don't do enough damage to kill your opponent. You know, you should lose the game. But SaSe expanded twice. You can do that on Two Valley sometimes. Thorzain didn't take advantage of that timing, didn't know about it, probably would have hit a little bit sooner with Stim. But was unable to do that. We're going to jump into game 2 really quickly, guys. Quick commercial break, and then we might do a recap of the last game a little bit when we come back. He's Silence. I'm Axel. Stay tuned. This is the MLG 2012 Winter Championships in Columbus, Ohio. Game 2 between SaSe and Thorzain coming up.